Welcome, everyone. Blessings to all of you. Um, 6 o'clock on the dot. Welcome to Pine Grove News Live. And we will just check that too to see whether we are live. Let's put this out there too. This is a Copyright Act. Might be a couple things that we'll see on here that may need it. In any case, let's go on over there. See if I am up live today, because I worked all weekend on this. And we should have the volume fixed. And yes, it is. It's fixed. Okay, good news, good news. Got some other things that are coming up for 12 Pine News too. I worked on a promo also over the weekend, but I'm trying to do basically something very simple, get the file that I made from my PC and put it on my laptop where I do the broadcasting on. Got to go search for it, but just haven't had time yet. Got it all fixed, done probably around 9:30 last night. Any case, it's Monday, and it's 83 degrees here on the East Coast, southern New England, in northern Connecticut, in the valley there. Yeah, on my way to work this morning, apparently, because we had a good couple, I believe it was Saturday. Yeah, because Sunday we went riding. Saturday, a couple big storms passed through here. I mean, it's typical for summer. We enjoy listening to the thunder. Not so keen on how close the lightning has been getting, but, it'll wake you up. It'll wake you up in the morning. Won't need a cup of coffee after that. But driving to work this morning, apparently Long Meadow, Massachusetts has declared a state of emergency. Driving through Long Meadow to get to work, I could see why. There's quite a bit of trees, limbs from trees that were hit by lightning, came down. Apparently they had some kind of microburst, which, is a mini what, tornado, hurricane, one little shot. Covers a small area, but and it doesn't last long, but it creates a lot of damage. No word on if anybody was injured, according to the local news that I listened to anyway. So, a lot of crazy people out there. That's all I can say. Crazy people. I mean, we're talking about news today. We're talking, hold on a second. We're talking people getting into fistfights in Disneyland. I mean, fistfights in at a baseball game in a stadium on national TV. Fistfights. You got people freaking taking mouthwash out of the aisle, rinsing their mouth out, spitting it back in, and putting it back on the shelf. And then we got these other people, these whacked out people, going in there, just opening up a container of ice cream, licking the ice cream, and then putting it back. This is the second person who's done this, and they've both been arrested. I don't know what the heck they're going to be charged with. Defacing private property or something like that. I don't know. Something that it will end up in a fine. Man, that's why we just need to go. We've ever since, I don't know if you remember the Tylenol scare that we had quite a few years back. People buying Tylenol. Apparently they were laced with something and it was killing people. I mean, heck, here in Connecticut, what was it? Last year, it might have been just last year when they had that big fentanyl heroin opiate epidemic here in Connecticut. They declared a state of emergency here. There were 7 or 8 people that overdosed on this uh, opiates, this fentanyl stuff. It's just crazy. It's really crazy. It is very sad. I mean, that's what people are looking to do. I mean, yeah, I did it too, man. When once I got of course I was very wild until I got married. Then I got married, and probably the best thing that ever happened to me, no doubt. Uh, yeah, I'd say if not for her, I probably would have just kept going until I died with something, until I did something really stupid, and maybe somebody shot me, or I just probably been one of those statistics. But we come home, we have a drink. The guys go out for beers, and of course, when I was younger, there was all kinds of pharmaceuticals that I would do. We all look for an escape. We all look for this, just more. We look for more. There's got to be more to life than just going to work and coming home, going to work, coming home and doing it over and over and over again. Same job, day in, day out. I mean, just talking about it, it kind of, puts a big burden on the shoulders. So people, that's what they do. And if they don't know Jesus, they, it just goes to show you how low they can actually go. If you don't have Jesus, you're lost. And there's, that's where they get this depression, this loss of hope. Um, nothing they do with all these experiments and instant gratifications, and they don't last. And it's just a terrible thing that's going on. It's been going on for a while, but it's just getting so much worse. It is just very bad. Again, going to that suicide statistics for just period are just way up and increasing. And I was looking around for the news. I'm trying to find out where it is right now. NASA admitting to something. Never a straight answer admitting to something. Trying to find it. Yeah, here it is. So we can start with this one. This is from News Punch. Uh, yeah, well, but the title here, and we knew about this already. We've known about it for a few years now. But NASA admits to spraying Americans with poisonous chemtrails. Okay, and this is what they claim that they're putting in it, and why. NASA has admitted to spraying lethal chemtrails into our atmosphere, saying that lithium being sprayed into the Earth's ionosphere helps to treat people with manic depression or bipolar disorder. Go figure, man. I mean, first of all, who the hell gives them the right to do that? They don't have a right whatsoever to do that. That could be crimes against humanity, man. We've, people have been hung for things like that. Crimes against humanity. Spraying this lithium, and there's so much other stuff that's being sprayed as well. Other kinds of aluminum and other stuff, nanoparticles that get into your lungs, and we can go into long stories and conspiracy theories and speculations on, what these nanoparticles are actually doing, being sprayed, and how it affects you, all this stuff, man. We can really get into it. And it may all be true. In any case, they have come out and admitted it. They've admitted it prior to this. Okay, so, because we keep talking about, people they're just lethargic. They just are in their own little bubble, or all these poisons, either through the fluorides and other chemicals, through the tap water, through the, your neighborhood waste treatment plant, okay? that supposedly comes out and tells you that they can't, separate the pharmaceuticals for some reason. And so they remain in there. And then you got the fluoride that they add, let alone the chlorine and other things that they add. In any case, then, then you got the food, you know, being sent to other countries. I mean, China is the number one reason for all this bath salts and flaca and this crocodile stuff that's in Florida and going throughout our country. And uh, but you wonder why people aren't doing anything about it. Well, this is the only kudos I give them for not coming out and speaking out. I mean, how many people are there with depression and bipolar disorder that you have to spray the entire world, or maybe just this country? But it's being sprayed everywhere. They're spraying it to make you slow and lethargic so that you won't rise up with all these things that we're learning. I'm just saying, the last generation, the greatest generation, the generation from World War II, that's what they were called, the greatest generation. I mean, they were innovative, they were brave, they were smart. A lot of things that were said about that generation. They're almost gone too. Even the Lord said that, they wouldn't all go before things would start to happen. So, with that, I mean, hey, Jody Jules, God bless. Good to see you. So, let's see. Where did I pick that up? Where was that? Anyways, coming out and admitting that. What do we do with that, really? I mean, what do we do with them admitting to spraying the lithium? I know that there's aluminum in there. People have tested it. But to spray the whole population with lithium because what? Because they think that they're all going to be, well, that is what's happening. People are, like I said from the beginning, they're hopeless. If they don't have Jesus Christ, then there's no hope for them. And they're not looking for him. He's the hope. They don't need their lithium. We need Jesus Christ. That's what everyone needs. I'm telling you right now. I mean, I actually was textbook labeled bipolar when I was 24. 24 years old. Yep. Labeled that. Chemical imbalance, they say. You know what? I don't have it anymore. I haven't had it in years. It's all gone. Every bit of it. Of course, these dark times, the things that are going on can weigh on you sometimes, and it may feel like depression, but it doesn't last long. I'm talking, hours, if that. I used to have 2 episodes every year, 2 weeks each episode, where I couldn't even get out of bed. That stuff's all gone now. That's what Jesus Christ did for me. One of the many things. And you just go forward after that. It just gets better and better after that because, promises have been fulfilled, confirmations have been given. I mean, it just will increase more and more for you. You just need to take that leap and go and ask for Jesus Christ. Ask to know more about him. Ask him questions. Just go seek him. So with that, spring, I just can't get over the fact that they would come out and admit that. I mean, even Trump knows that they're chem spraying. He said he was going to try and stop it. Apparently not. I mean, there's all kinds of other things that they're saying that they're chem spraying for. I mean, talking about Project Bluebeam and other things that they, the elite, want to happen. They want to have a new world order, one government, them, and us as their slaves. And I guess if you believe in the pre-trib, that's not accounted for us. Not appointed to us to go through that stuff. We will have tribulation. Jesus Christ said we would have tribulation, and that we're going through tribulation now. Some people call it the times of sorrows, and that's what I'm going to go with right now, until the Holy Spirit gives me something else. In any case, we go on. We go on with the hope of his coming, of his second coming, of being whisked away into heaven in a paradise forever. I mean, it's not just the born again. It's not, doesn't matter what affiliation you call yourself. Just need to believe. You just need to believe that he actually come. And I know most people, whether they're atheists or whatever you call yourself, you do or have at one time believed in a God, and either he is, done you wrong, or you think that he's done you wrong, or didn't answer your prayers at least the way you wanted it. You didn't get a brand new, multi-$1,000 car, okay, when you needed it or wanted it. Yeah. Those things, you don't need those things. And he has a sense of humor too. You go ask for a brand new car, he'll probably, probably like have an opportunity come in front of you, to get a car that's in good shape, been used. People, some old lady been driving around for a couple of years now, and you still got this prayer in your head about a brand new car. Yeah. And so in the meantime, this car passes right in front of you. You don't give it a second look. I mean, talk about a gift horse in the mouth, right? You got to remember that he uses whatever he has made, because he has made everything. And he'll use whatever he wants to use to fulfill that prayer. You can't just sit around and wait for it to drop in your lap. You need to just go out and continue and just act like the prayer has already been answered. I mean, that's the belief. That's the faith. Hope. He gives you, well, he actually, anyways, getting off track. Sorry. He gives you everything. He gives you everything that you ask for, with that especially, and just so much more. The hope, the faith. It's not your faith. I mean, I've always thought it was my faith, but come to realize that, the Bible does say that he is the finisher. He is the one that works that faith in you. You get portions of it at a time. You're not going to get it all at once. Nobody ever does. It takes time. It's a process. It's like going to school with no pressure. There's no pressure. You're not gonna. You're gonna graduate multiple times, and you'll never know when that comes until it comes. Holy Spirit will lead you into that. He's the teacher. Anyway, so let's go on with the news. I spent too much time on that soapbox again. Yeah, NASA. Thank you, NASA, for us. Even though I, didn't have, people don't have, depression or bipolarism, but spray the whole world with it. That makes sense. I got to write a letter. How they can be arrested for crimes against humanity. Because that's what it is. So let's go on to, about the earthquake storms since 4th of July. Had two more, I guess, one over the weekend, maybe one yesterday or today. 6.9, though, that earthquake hit off Indonesia. They issued a tsunami warning, but both the quake size and the tsunami were later downgraded. 7.1 struck in the Malaccan Sea to the country's east. So, ring of fire, very active right now, especially big ones, especially down there, Indonesia and further down towards Australia. And that area's really been big time, 6+, sometimes in the same spot. And I guess I don't have the headline, but I guess it's like 3,000 aftershocks since that 7-pointer in Southern California. But this is another one. I mean, they've had one before I saw a year or so ago. Maybe it wasn't that long, but Iran. They get they're calling it a deadly 5.7 earthquake. Strikes the Iran oil area. We'll have to think about that one. So this shallow quake also felt in Iraq, Saudi Arabia, structures, like earthquakes do. I remember 5 point whatever's in California. I believe it was California. When the World Series was going on in Oakland there. Remember that one? I remember the double-decker highways that were collapsing onto cars. And I don't think that one was any bigger than it was lower than a 6, I believe. Anyways, it depends on the depth. I guess I'm not an earthquake specialist. I just follow the reporting. Yeah, I wonder how long ago was that? That was quite a while ago. Yep, I remember that. Watched it for days. All right, so I mean, did we mention the amount of earthquakes that were going on, the aftershocks in Southern California? I know Will Watching was telling me over 4,000 yesterday, but I've seen numbers since then, and they're not that high. I mean, they're high enough. I mean, 3,000 is the last figure I got, and over 2,000 when I got home. That's quite a lot. Any case, yeah. All right, so let's go on with some other stuff. Still a shaking. Yeah, there's just been a lot of the 6-pointers. A lot of them. I'm worried about the West Coast. I mean, a lot of people are. I don't know if the ones that happened a few days ago in D.C. And all along the West Coast. I mean, is that pressure released from the Cascadias, from the movement they monitored, what, 2, 3 years ago? Still waiting for the big one there. I mean, how big does it have to be a big one? Right? How big does it have to be? So, this is some news that, I really don't normally report it, but it's out there. And I'm angry. I'm a little angry with it that people, and I guess I shouldn't be because it's just going to get worse and worse. I mean, the Lord speaks about the days of Noah. Those are the times that we need to watch for. The days of Lot, when Lot was the only one that was brought out eventually. Well, no, it's 2 daughters, I guess. And of course, his wife. pillar of salt because she was warned not to look back, and she did. But I'm talking about these, Sodom and Gomorrah, that type stuff. Canada arrested Christian pastors, while state media promotes child drag queens. And this is big time news a lot now. It's on TV. It's in programs on TV. Everyone is being conditioned and programmed. That's what the TV does. Go look up, see what's on the program. Go see what's on the guide. Go let the guide show you what's on. A lot of keywords there. But anyway, now the end begins. Vile affections. Mile High Comics in Denver sponsors all ages drag show, targeting children, helping pave the way for acceptance of pedophiles. That's what it's doing too. And there was this, what was it, a professor on Friday, I believe, put out there that, she said something about pedophilia should not be a criminal offense. Yeah, I mean, this is not the first time that people are talking like this, and this is just, beyond grotesque and distortion of how things should be. This is what this is, and this is why Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed. They were thrown out. That was one of the words used, thrown out. That means, these things, what is it, brimstone, fire and brimstone came down. And it was like a huge bomb. It hits and everything gets thrown out from that area. That's what that means. The radius of the blast, gone. Because of this, because they were so vile and so demented. Yeah. That was surely a time where they did not practice the natural use of a woman, men with men, so on and so forth. I mean, I don't see how a lot even, could live there. I don't understand. I know we had family there, and I guess family meant a lot back then too. So I guess that would be one of the main reasons she was there. Even though Abraham, his uncle, went and got him out of there, stood up for him. So this stuff, everywhere now. That's all I'm going to say about that stuff. And then with all this stuff going on with this war with Saudi Arabia and Yemen, and how come the UN doesn't step in there? They'll give us a headline, but why won't they step in? I mean, suspected cholera cases in Yemen surged to 460,000. 460,000. It's one of the worst, what do you call it? Human catastrophes, period, and many types of it, with pestilence and the killing and maiming of citizens. I mean, they're trying to go after the terrorists, just like we're supposed to be doing over there, and we're in Iraq, Afghanistan. Anyway, 460,000, worst ever. This is from 911 surveillance video photos. I don't know, is that live stream still working? Oh man, I got mine buffering on the beginning. Anybody watching that live stream, YouTube? Maybe it's just my channel, but it says it's buffering over here, so I don't know what's going on. But anyway, at least the volume is working. It was working in the beginning. Very interesting. So in Florida, what was that? All right. Thanks, Laura. Let's see. In Florida, blast left 21 injured. Supposedly the surveillance video captures an explosion, an impact at a nearby home in Plantation, Florida. Some gas explosion. And you can check by one of those videos down here that this door just it rattles. Some people thought they were having an earthquake or something. Huh. Working with sound. Noodle ham operator. What a name. So anyway, that stuff's going on. I guess we'll figure out. Just wanted to bring that to you, just in case you knew somebody there. Plantation, Florida, gas explosion. There wasn't any really news that I would consider big, great. Tired of covering the politics and the tit for tat thing that's going on with the Democratic Party now. AOC, and tweeting not so good info on Pelosi. Back and forth bickering. I mean, what else? They didn't really need to do what they're supposed to be doing. And I guess they passed that $4.6 billion thing for the wall for whatever's going on down here for the border. So he got what he wanted to get. Good thing. Needed down there. This is also from 911. Baby killed, 5 other children injured in an apartment fire while mothers were at the nightclub. Yeah. And there's a reason for some of these stories that I'm putting out here. I told you about the one with the fist fight down in Disney. I mean, one of these women, anyways, she just tossed her child. The child was actually in a baby carriage, stroller, it had 4 wheels, but she pushed it aside and said, "Watch my baby." I don't know who she was talking to, but somebody did eventually grab the stroller. Well, she went over there and started a fight with a man. And a lot of things went on. This is just what's going on. I know these things have happened, have always happened, but they're increasing. Many more people, like the mouthwash person, It's just, I know people are probably just recording it more. Heck, everyone's got a phone, right? It should be. We want to know how many, really demented people that are out there so I can, build a scale. Because we're still sitting through the birth pains, waiting for those, those birth pains will become more frequent and with more intensity as we go along until, the baby is born, till there's a big, voila. Nashville, Tennessee. That's where that was. Nashville Fire Department arson investigators are looking for what sparked an early morning fire that killed an 8-month-old baby and injured 5 small children. But don't worry about the parents. They were safe at the nightclub. This is from the Watchers. I guess we got some weather today. Record cold July temperature in parts of Germany. Rare July frost ravages Saxony. These things are happening, with the floods, the extreme heat, extreme cold. That's all they're talking about now. Extreme this, extreme that, record breaking, Just seems like every year is just breaking the previous years and going more and more. This is the birth pains we're talking about. This frequency with intensity. I can't. I guess our hurricane season started already. I know last year we had one heck of a season. couple storms, out there off the coast of Florida, just sat there and just at 0 miles per hour and just spun and spun. Two of them. Then you had 2 to 3 of them in the West Pacific, just going there, driving past Hawaii, hitting, Japan, China, and Taiwan, and all those areas over there, Vietnam. I have a brother over there that didn't really feel much, but surrounding areas did. So, Hen hasn't got back to me yet. Working with sound. Okay, probably just me. Maybe I should I'll do a refresh, see if that happens. What happens? Oh yeah, there we go. All right, cool. Refresh did it. Well, I don't know why, because I have plenty of bandwidth here. Plenty. You're noodle ham. Well, I kind of figured you were, Laura. Noodle ham. So you're not an operator yet, but you, you haven't got your license yet, like me. I haven't got my license yet. Still thinking of some kind of handle for that, but haven't got around to it. Noodle ham. You're still studying? Good. And it's like I said, I've studied too many times, but you need to study and then take the test right after. And even the guys with the free websites and the free training and the free test, pre-test, they tell you do it while it's still in your head, still fresh. They give you all those, those math. What do you call it? The component, resistors and capacitors and what they do. I hear that you probably need to study that, and I'll probably need to study the other stuff. Yeah. Well, too bad we couldn't take the test together. I'll take the test on the circuitry. You can take the test on, I don't know, mathematics, reading comprehension. I'm very slow when it comes to reading and understanding, but I do understand it. I just take longer than most people to study something. Heck, I bought a new book over the weekend. It was supposed to be, I don't know, only 40-something pages. I've only gotten through about 10 of them because I stop and I look up every scripture just to make sure that it's right. Kind of that way. Don't know why, Jody. I have no idea because I tell them, and they tell you that too when you go to study it. Yeah, you probably just want to be able to use your radio in an emergency situation, which is all I really want to do. I don't want to sit there by the radio day in and day out and just, talk on the radio like I'm doing now. But yeah, I don't know. They tell you got to take it. It's an FCC thing. I think they got to make their money too. Yes, that's what they say. Anyways, I forget how much the test was. It wasn't much, the test, but you got to set up a meeting. I had set up a meeting. I was getting ready to go that Saturday morning at a police station. It's about a 20-minute drive for me. You can go find that out when you're ready. Search for that. I can help you with the links, Laura. But other than that, I'm just, didn't think that I had it all. I tried taking the test again and I got a lot of things wrong. So it's the test. I could probably build you a radio, but I can't pass a written test. That's all I can say about it. I've always had problems passing written tests. I've gotten one of the highest scores when I was in my electronic course back in '89 when the state paid for a second injury. I actually did pretty good. You had to kind of make like a notebook as you go along each course. And out of this notebook, you're supposed to be able to teach someone from your notebook, from your diagrams, what have you got down there? And I've had the most highest scores in that. And that's actually how I passed one semester because I was going to fail in, was it programming or something like that. And but I got the highest grade, the 4.0, in the notebooks that we turn in, which is one third of our grade. So if it wasn't for that, I mean, that saved me. But anyways, so hands on and let me write it down. But I ask a lot of questions. I just can't answer a lot. Thought that I could at one time, but no. Teenagers think they know everything too, right? That's that generation gap. You don't really. All right. Anyway, let's go. Did good in that test. Yeah. Well, I was the highest paid out of my class. They were impressed with me. They needed somebody with 3 years experience. My first job out, and I just went there just for the last. I'll just see what happens. Ain't nobody gonna hire me. Went there. Not only were they impressed with me, they hired me. They asked me how much I wanted. I said 25, and they said, "How's 28 sound?" And I was pretty well blessed at that point. So, anyways, so other than that, I mean, we got two asteroids that they're telling us about that they know about because they obviously usually get the flybys, the ones that are really close, like the 1/10 lunar distances. They won't tell you about them until they know for a fact because once it goes by and they tell you that it's that close, they weren't sure whether it was going to hit or not. But in any case, from the watchers, they've got two of them here listed. One is listed for tomorrow, and then one is listed for the 10th. And they're going to be at 0.83, and that's the only reason they list it is because they are quite certain that it will not hit us. Two of them. Trying to figure out how the size of them, but really doesn't matter, I guess. So there's two of them in there. One of them called 2019 MB4 and 2019 NN. That's Nancy 3. Or Nancy Narco 3. However you want to put it. Let's go to now the end begins. The Vatican. The Vatican's getting ready to declare the Archbishop Fulton Sheen a saint after a Catholic parents of stillborn baby prayed to him and the baby recovered. Does that make him a saint? Might make him a healer, but anyway. So this Vatican statement on Saturday said the Pope had approved a decree recognizing a miracle attributed to Sheen's intercession. No, 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 no. It is never us. Never us. That's the problem with some of this stuff. It's just not us. It's the Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ. It's not us. We just mess everything up. There's none of us that are good. That was drilled into me a little while ago. Because I thought I was a good person too. You ever go to, what is that, Living Waters? What's his name? Get his name. Yeah, he goes out there, he goes into people, ask them if they think they're a good person. I actually thought I was a good person until the Bible set me straight. It was not any one of us are good. Not one. Hard to take, but yeah, we always end up doing something wrong. So, Miracle Baby. The Vatican did not identify the miracle in the Sheen case, but the Catholic News Agency reported that it was the full recovery of a baby named James Fulton Engstrom, who was stillborn in Illinois in September 2010. The baby's parents, Bonnie and Travis Engstrom, of the Peoria area town of Goodfield, prayed to Archbishop Sheen to heal their son after he showed no signs of life when medical professionals tried to revive him. All right, good story. Yeah. So, and I'll just leave this for you guys on the YouTube. Of course, all these things. This recording will be, if it doesn't get to YouTube, which it will probably go to today, goes on VMO. It's always on my site, 12pine.com. The videos, whether they're make it out there on the wide web or not, it will end up in my website. 11 prophecies of the giant earthquake that will cause large parts of California to fall into the Pacific Ocean. So yes, of course, we're going to have all kinds of prophecies after this big one, the 7-1 or what was it? Whichever it was, happened. All kinds of stories. Biggest one is John Paul Jackson. I mean, that guy, like I said, I downloaded a lot of, because he did a lot of interpretation of dreams, and they were big into that, but I don't know how, I don't know how to say it right. I don't think it was of the Holy Spirit. I think it might have been of another spirit. I don't think the Holy Spirit, but I'm not sure, doesn't go around teaching us how to interpret dreams. I believe that's given to some people by other means. Now, at the moment, that's what I've learned so far, and I'm, a lot of times I'm very wrong. So, for whatever it's worth, if you want your dreams interpreted, it's Jesus Christ that you should be praying to for those interpretations. Just like some of the apostles did. Like, I don't know if he asked for interpretation, but I remember the dream he had. I believe it was Peter, dreamt of the big sheep with all the animals coming down on it. Was that Peter? Right. Absolutely right, Jordy. Gifts of the Holy Spirit are not taught. They are given when the Holy Spirit deems you to have it. Their timing, God's timing, not our timing. No way. All right, so we can start ending this now. But there's also links in here from End Time Headlines, pictures from the earthquake, shocking damage revealed. I've seen them, already through the, since July 4th. They've been playing them over and over. What else have we got here? Oh, this is a very creepy thing. It's also from the End Time Headlines. It's this re-educational. They're calling them thought transformation camps, but they're actually reconditioning, or what do you call it? What do you call those camps? Re-educational camps. Okay, we call them FEMA camps here. I mean, they're here, but this is footage of these people in China. These thousands of religious minorities. I mean, Muslims, Catholics. I mean, Christians. Held in Chinese thought transformation camps. Very disturbing. I mean, everything is. All the participants who are at least on this film, obviously, are not going to tell you anything bad about the film while they're being filmed. And I'm surprised that it was filmed. It's probably filmed just to have these people look at it later and say, yeah, they've all agreed. They're happy to go in there because they knew that they had bad thoughts about, communism or about what's going on. And yeah, so they have to be, re-educated. And they don't call it that. I mean, it's just bizarre. I mean, what was the name of that movie? Was it the Stepford Wives? I mean, they're all like robots. It's either that. You either go to these camps, and some of them say you either go for months or you go for years to these camps. And you just take a look at the picture on the article. I mean, just rows and rows of these people all dressed in the same garb, all, looking at a screen. And there is a short video clip there of it. It's 11 minutes, 58 seconds. I have not watched it all. I've watched what's going on now. I watched like 3.5 minutes of it, and it just is very eerie. I didn't need to see anymore. You don't either. Once you got 3.5 minutes into it, it's all right. Put it away. Quickly. Oh, what was this? Oh yeah, so this was a big thing too in DC. They got this historic flash flood strikes DC, stranding cars in high water. I believe there's well, I mean, if there's a state of emergency, it wouldn't be underplaying it. So this historic flash flood that happened, saying Monday today, drenching the city with nearly 3.5 inches rainfall in just 2 hours. Yeah. The inundation left drivers stranded in their cars, leaked into metro stations, and felled trees. The record 3.41 inches of rainfall was measured at Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. That's the most rain ever recorded there in a single day. So here you go, folks. You're going to find places in diverse places, everywhere that it's going to be breaking records. Places where the records aren't there because it's never happened will happen. The way it's been going, that's just a given. Just an educated guess. Yeah, so we already did that. Yeah, and you got the picture of that idiot guy licking the ice cream. Okay, and you have the link from 911, that wild brawl that breaks out between Cubs and White Sox fans. So you want to go watch a bunch of idiots throw punches at each other. And, the thing that I couldn't get out of this freaking California, the Anaheim, California, the Disneyland Toontown. What I couldn't get out of, understand out of that is that there's this big black guy, okay, in there smacking around women. And all these other big guys, nobody's really doing a whole lot about stopping that. I just find it appalling that anyone would strike a woman, though I do believe some women at certain times really need to be, at least slapped. But things have changed. Things are not the way they're supposed to be, obviously. Everything's up and down. I see women, going out there and attacking men just like, I mean, a man is supposed to stand there and take that. I don't agree with that. Not these days. Maybe in the past, maybe. But having, a woman come up to you and just start punching you, no, you got to do something about that stuff. And that's not what Jesus means by turning the other cheek and, taking it on the other one. That's not what he means. We always talk about that another time. So that's about it. The rest of it was just the links that I've already talked about and what's going on. So with that one, y'all, thanks for coming. God bless you all. And it's Monday, so be here all week, except for Tuesday and Thursday. I'll be out doing some hedge trimming, and of course, every time I, buy a piece of machinery for the yard, some part of it breaks down, and I have to take it back. It's just my luck, and I know it's a trial. It is a trial. You try it. You try going. I could tell you some stories, man. I remember one day in particular, but I'll tell you another time. Everything that I did that day, everything that I touched, broke, bent, did things that it wasn't supposed to do. One particular day I remember. Happens a lot, but this particular day, I just sat back, smiled, and I said, "Yep, now I know this is divine intervention." Yeah, there was divine intervention that day, and I just sat there and laughed. It was funny. Then, I knew God was around most of my life, but never really settled into learning more about Him, big time, till about, I don't know, 10 years ago. Actually, it was 2008. Yeah, all of it. Yeah. I'll tell you the story. Nails were being bent, boards were cracking, warped, or were being cut the wrong way. I mean, I was being used as a tool. Anyways, everything was done wrong. Everything went wrong. And I'm still here. I'm here to talk about that testimony someday. So then, everyone, God bless you all. I got a lot of work after this is done to promote it, post it, edit it. But I do have a new promo, and I'm getting excited to put that out there on something new. It may not be Mixler involved, but I don't know. We'll look at it. We'll test it here. God bless you all. Have a great evening, man. Peace out. Keep your loved ones close, real close. Could be any day now. Maranatha. Peace out.